In this lesson, we are going to update the student loan notification email further. We're going to include data from Dataverse. We're going to include data from the trigger table, the loans table, as well as some related tables. So we'll edit the Cloudflow, update the email, and then finally test the Cloudflow changes have worked as we've expected. Let's move over to the exercise. Before we start updating the flow, let's remind ourselves of what we get within the loan and also the relationships that it has with other tables. Let's select on the most recent loan. I can see that it relates to student Yuki Sato and then it's book copy Frankenstein copy 1. If I select on Frankenstein copy 1, let's pay attention to the URL at the top of the screen. The ID, starting with 5315, is the ID of this record. And when we write our flow, we'll be levering the relationship. So let's move back to flows. I'd like to find out some more information about this loan. I want to know more about the book that's been taken out. So up here, I'm going to add in a step. Add an action. I'm going to search for Dataverse get item. And it's offered me the get row by ID. I'm going to select that. I need to tell it the table. I'm interested in the book copies table. So I can search on the table name and select this. It's now looking for the ID field. I'm going to select that and I'm going to use some dynamic content. And I can see that in the trigger step, it tells me book copy value. That's the information I need in order to be able to identify the book. Select that. And I'm going to update the step name to get book copy details. Now that we have this, now that we've identified the correct book copy, we can go down to our send an email step. And we can indicate the name of the book that's been taken out, or at least the book copy. Let's go to the body of the email you have taken out and update that with some dynamic information. Select on this and we can see that we've got the option to see more on the book copy details. And the name of the column that we need is book copy reference. I'm going to select that. You have taken out book copy reference on loan. The book is due back on. That's going to indicate the date. In the loans table, we have a calculated field which indicates the name of the student, and we can use that. I'm going to select on just before you have taken out a loan. I'm going to go to dynamic content, search for name, and then just indicate student full name. Select that, comma, and do a lowercase y for that. I'm going to save the flow and then come out of the new designer in order to perform my testing. I can switch without saving. OK. Select test. I can do it automatically with a recently used trigger and select this. Save and test. I can see the details from when the row was added, modified or deleted. And I can see the book copy value starting with 5135. And then on the book copy details, I can see further details. It says it's Frankenstein copy 1. I can now look at the email that gets sent out. And I can see that it says Yuki Sato, you've taken out Frankenstein copy 1. Let's refer back to the email. The email now reads, Yuki Sato, you've taken out Frankenstein copy 1 on loan. And the rest of the email is as before. In this lesson, we leverage the relationships between the Dataverse data tables in order to enhance the email that went out. I'll see you in future lessons.